Good morning, students. So yesterday I discussed about the last topic, that is priority queue. Already discussed about the priority queue. So a queue in which we are able to insert item or remove item from any position based on some priority is often referred to as priority queue. One minute. So see here, so a priority queue is a collection of zero or more items associated with each item is a priority. So a queue, okay, a queue in which we are able to insert item or remove item from any position based on some priority is often referred to as priority queue. So here always an element with high priority is processed before processing any of the lower priority elements. Okay. So if the elements in the queue are of the same priority, then the element which is inserted first into the queue is processed first. So if the elements are in the queue are different priority, then you may give the highest priority first. If the elements have the same priority, first the first item which is inserted in the queue, that will be give it to the first priority. Okay. So which is inserted first into the queue is processed first. So priority queues are used in job scheduling algorithm in the design of operating system. So here job scheduling algorithm means need which one need the first job and which one need the second job, and how much time it requires. For all this process you are using the priority. Okay, where the jobs with highest priority have to be processed first. So in this we are having different types of job categories are there. For that which one you first priority, that will first insert into the queue. Okay. So here priority queues has three operations: insert, delete, and find and decrease. So insert meant as like insert element into the queue, delete the item in queue, find the element which item is the highest priority. You can find using the function find. And decreasing priority means we have to decrease one item. Okay, we have to decrease one item priority by decrease priority function. Okay. Okay, clear, students? Next year, priority queues are classified into two types. That is ascending priority queue and the descending priority queue. Okay, so ascending priority queue means two types, ascending and descending. Just the name itself indicate what is ascending priority queue. Another one is descending priority queue. So ascending priority queue means in an ascending priority queue, elements can be inserted in any order. In either ascending or descending, the elements can be inserted in any order. In ascending priority queue or descending priority queue, elements can be inserted in any order. Any order. Okay. But in ascending priority queue, while deleting an element from the queue, only the smallest element is removed first. Ascending means smallest to high. So while insertion any order, while deleting the element in ascending priority queue, the smallest element is deleted first. And while in descending priority queue, if element can be inserted in any order, but while deleting, the highest priority or largest priority is deleted first, because the elements are stored in descending order, high to low. The highest value will remove first. Highest priority value is removed first. So this is about priority queues. Okay. So for clear students, any doubts are so far clear? Anyone send a response message? Response message. Is it clear? Can I move forward to another topic? Any doubt? Anyone reply message in chat box? Write a message in chat box. I'm waiting for your reply, students. Okay. Now we move to the next unit, that is third unit, that is our linked list. So in this first topic is pointers. Just introduction to pointers. Just to see once syllabus. So see syllabus here. So I discussed stack, array representation of stack, stack as ADT, application of stack, that is conversions and evaluations also discussed. Recursion also discussed, that is towers of NA problem discussed. Q, array representation of Q as ADT, and circular queue, double-ended queue, priority queue. So far we covered two units. Today we start our third unit, that is pointer. Then in pointer next we have to what are pointers are there, and then pointer array we are going to discuss. Then starting to the main topic, that is linked list. Okay. So today we move to the pointer. We already studied in C language, C in C. Okay. So what is a pointer? So what is a pointer means a variable that holds a memory address. Okay. So a pointer that holds a memory address, we call it as a pointer. So this address is the location of, so this address is the location of another object in the memory. Okay. So pointer as an address indicates where to find an object. So that object is stored in some address. Okay. So here applications of that is it enables us to access a variable that is defined outside the function. If you define the outside the function also, we can access that variable. And it can pass information between function and its reference points. And it is more efficient for using data tables, handling data tables. So I have to note that not all the pointers actually contain an address. They may contain null pointers also. Now what is the value of null pointer? Null pointer is 0. So see here within the computer uh, we have different types in array. We are representing in array that represent contain that need continuous memory allocation. So depending upon the data type, either integer, character, float. So here the system allocates memory locations. So it hold to the value of the variable. So here consider the statement XYZ. You can understand better. So here XYZ is the variable and it holds the value is 50 in the location. So we don't know in which location it will store. Okay, but the location address is given here 1350. See here. So in this way you have to store the data in the memory. Okay, so here in this the system always associate with the name XYZ with the address. So here address is the number, so we can directly assign it to the variable. Okay, you already know if the address is only the number, it can assign to its variable. You can directly assign to its variable. Okay. So if you assign address to some variable that we call it as a, so such variable that holds the memory address, we call it as a pointers. Okay. See here in this we give int xyz equal to 50. So when we are giving int, it allocate memory for xyz with some address 13850. So if you want to store the memory address in a variable, we use the concept called pointer. So a pointer is a variable. Its value is also stored in some memory location. So a pointer is a variable. Its value also stored in some memory location. Okay. Okay, students. Okay, next, see here how we initialize the pointer. Suppose we assign the address of express to a pointer variable. How we represent that? P equal to ampersand xyz. Okay, student. Suppose if you want to assign the address to a variable, we represent it as that p set to point to that variable. That is p equal to ampersand of xyz. So xyz contains the value 50 and address is 13850. So in P, actually the 50 value is stored in P contains 1380 address. Okay, clear, understand, students? See here, in 1380 we get the value is 50. Okay, so we represent it as P contains 1380. In 1380, the data will be is 50. Okay, here 25T5 is a address of the P. In that address, we contain the XYZ address, that is 13850. In 13850, see here, ampersand XYZ means in that address, what is the content that will be stored, that will be displayed on the screen. Here, so this 13850, 50 is stored in 13850 address. You already know the address of the variable can be determined using the ampersand operator. So what is the ampersand operator means? It returns the address of the preceding variable. What the variable we write after the ampersand, that variable address will shows here. So what is the address of xyz, that is 13850, that is assigned to P. So the see here, the ampersand operator can be used only with a simple variable or an array. See here, this is distance is simple variable or in an array. We can represent the ampersand with an array or simple variable. So the address of xyz is assigned to P. So if you want to print the address, you want to print the value of the P, then you have to write star P. Star P contains 13850 address. In 13850, in that we have to print the 50. So 50 is printed here. Okay, clear students? Just see here. Just I am repeating the pointer concept. So ampersand means ampersand is used to store the address. It will store the address of preceding one. The ampersand after preceding one XYZ. Already told you XYZ contains 13850. So 1380. So now P can handle the address of P contains 3080. Okay. So if you want to print the XYZ value, you just represent star P. So I have to initialize it as int star P comma A. Okay, P equal to, sorry, the XYZ here, XYZ. So P equal to XYZ means it contains 1380 address. You want to print the content in this 1380, you just use star P. Star P contains 50. Okay, so P contains 1380. Clear students? You want to know the address of the P, you take one variable x equal to ampersand P. Okay, so this is about pointers. Already studied in C language. Just I am repeating the concept here. So here the address of 13 assigned to P. So ampersand can be used only with simple variable or array variable. I already told you. So illegal usages here, we cannot represent ampersand to a constant value, and also here int array name we cannot represent ampersand of array, and we also do not represent the ampersand to an expression. These are the illegal uses of the ampersand. Okay. See here, this is the program. So I am taking int, then float, double, ch, different as a data types I am taking here. A equal to print A. You can store, you can print the A value. Ampersand means you can store the address. B address, C address, D address, H address. Okay. So can we store location? See here, this is the output. The address of that variable is different. Okay. Just we run this in online, what the output will occur. See here. Let's see here, just I am trying to see the output students. Okay, this is general output just for seeing the general program. Just I want to see the output. What is the different output for this and the pointers for the purpose I am running this program. Okay, so while you run the program, please check the errors. Okay, you will see it later. Anyways. Okay, so the output is here. In this, get the output here. It contains so here this while we are representing, you have to represent the continuous memory allocation here. Okay. Here A, B, C, and CH are allocated continuous memory allocations. So now how we declare the pointer? So here first we have to declare before pointer must have declared before you use them. First you have to write the data name and the data type and then give the name of the pointer. So what is the asterisk symbol tells here that variable pointer name is a pointer variable. So here point it indicates that the pointer name is a pointer variable. That means that pointer name needs a memory location, and that memory is a so pointer name points a variable type, that is data type. So these three things specified for the above declaration. First asterisk represent a pointer needs a pointer variable, and pointer needs a memory location, and pointer name points to the type of the data type. Okay, see our example I am taking count speed as 2 point variables. Okay, so we already declared int star p xyz, then p equal to x1. This is called we have to initialize in this initialization. So p contains the xyz address. Okay, so I'm taking float x and p int because it will we declare the with the same data type for the pointer and the variable. Okay. So we cannot declare that variable different name and pointer different name. So if you store the address in with the same type only. Okay. Okay, clear? Next, we are using the operator asterisk plus here. Int a comma b I am taking here. Int p. Okay. And int star p equal to, I can store the address of the a here, and b will print the what the value is stored in that address will store given to the p. This is used for swapping. Okay, see the program here. AB, okay, C equal to 5 here. Then A equal to 4 into C plus 5, so 10, 4 into 10, 40. So now A contains the 40 value. I am giving C equal to address of P. So address of C is stored in P. Okay. So B equal to 4 into star P. What is P? P here 5. 5 plus 5, 10. So 40. So what is the values of A and B are here? 40, 40. Okay, clear? Okay, just try to run this program. Is it working or not? You can see here. A small program. Students, I'm running this small program. It is working or not. Okay, that get the output A equal to 40 and B equal to 40. Okay, both are equal. See this example. What is the output? You can guess for the output value. Just just anybody write the output value in a chat box. So here what we have to do is first we have to take two variables in x comma y. I am taking one pointer variable here. Okay. Now x equal to 10, I give the value. Then I store the value in pointer address. For example, 11 is my address of x. So P contains that address. So in that address, I store the variable 10. Okay. So y equal to pointer of p. So pointer of p in pointer of p, it contains 10. So y equal to get the value 10. Okay. So p has some address. I am giving that uh, uh, 616 address. Okay. Now see here, x is 10 and ampersand x is 111. Here 10 we get and here is 111 we get. Okay. Here ampersand of x means here get 10. Here 111. Okay. Star PTR means here we get 10 and PTR address is 616. Okay. Okay, clear students? See here. Here. So here we get, see here in this is the ampersand star pointer means which contains the address of x. Okay. So tomorrow we will run this program and check what is the output here. See here, here this is the output for that. Okay. So I already told you 10 is stored, this is the address. And second one, 10 is stored, this is the address. And third variable pointer is 10, this is the address. Here address is changed here. PTR address is PTR address is 111. What is the PTR here? PTR contains 111. So here we will get the value is 111. Okay, these three are over. Next, see what will you get these three outputs here. Y. Y contains 10. Star PTR means address. Here, Y means 10. Star PTR same address. Okay. Here, this is the address of pointer 900. So that's why we get here PTR address is first address and the pointer address. Okay, so last one this. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we run this program and we will discuss it clearly by running this program, and after that we move to the linked list. Okay, how we represent the array by using pointers also we will discuss tomorrow class. So far clear or any doubts, students? Clear or any doubts? Please write a message. I'm waiting for a reply. Okay, clear. Here y value, what is the y value here? Here 10, and which address it stored will be displayed here. Okay, thank you.